Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? I had another subject, basically on the dating pool and stuff. This is talking about why some women can't find good men. One of my subscribers wanted me to do more videos like this, so I figured, hey, I'll take a shot at it again. So here it goes. Reasons why women, and this is not all women, some can't find a good man. Now there are some women who claim that they can't find a good man for whatever reasons, but we all know the reasons why they can't. Some of those type of women can't find a good man. It's because their preferences are too high. That's number one. Their preferences are really dumb. That's number two. And ridiculous as well. Not to mention that. It's like I said, I mentioned that in my other video, women's preferences are retarded. Like they just want to ask you all these questions as if you're going to a job interview and stuff like that. It's just so stupid. Other reasons that they can't find a good man, because those type of women really aren't looking for a good man. All they want is these thugs, these bad boys, and so on and so forth. The guys who ain't doing nothing, who will just give them basically empty promises, and they'll roll with it. They'll be like, "Ooh, he's a good man," and all this other stuff. And another thing, you have a bunch of deadbeat dads who ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. But they'll be like, "Oh, I love him," and this and that. How stupid are you? And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but one of the type of females that I'm really turned off for are ghetto hood rat chicks. I honestly do not like ghetto hood rat chicks. I mean, I'm from Brooklyn, and okay, I live around ghetto hood rat chicks, but they completely turn me off. Okay, you take them out somewhere nice and classy, and they just talk really loud, and they're talking really loud and everything. They just don't know how to act. That's why you can't take your own kind somewhere, depending on how they are, stuff like that. You can't take your own kind anywhere, because they'll just embarrass you. Like, they'll just start talking loud, laughing loud, and everything. I understand people, like example, you take them to Applebee's. I understand people laugh and stuff like that, and they talk. But do you have to really talk super loud? I remember a couple months ago, I went out with a friend of mine, a female friend, and all of a sudden she brought her daughter. Now, I didn't know that she was going to bring her daughter, but brought her daughter, and they were just basically texting with their phones the whole time. Like, in my mind, I'm like, that's so rude. Like, you're here with the guests, and you're just texting on your phone most of the time. Like, are you serious? Like, wow. And I'm gonna tell you, those type of chicks, the ghetto hood rats, I'm gonna tell you, the only ones that they go for are those saggy pants wearing type of dudes, those thugs, those bad boys, and all that other stuff. That's the type of dudes that they go for. Because that's all they know. They don't go beyond what they know. They just stick to what they know. And what's even worse is some of those ghetto hood rats get their degrees and MBAs and all that other stuff, and guess what? They look down on you because you're not on their level. I remember someone putting something on Facebook, or was it Instagram, one of the two. And I remember I shared it. I shared it and I copied it to my phone. This girl, she was having financial problems and stuff like that. This guy met her and helped her out, took care of her and stuff like that, and even helped her, get into school and all this other stuff. And once she finished her degree, guess what? she said that she doesn't want to be with the guy anymore because all he does is he does construction, I guess, and he drives a tractor truck or whatever it is, and she basically wants someone on her level. That's honestly a prime example of those type of women who can't find a good man, because you're looking for someone who has a piece of paper that says, oh, they're qualified to do higher up jobs, rather than someone who's a good man. I mean, that's a real slap in the face, in my opinion. A real slap in the face. Someone that helps you out, and you're just gonna slap him in the face like that. And that's how females like that, who has that type of caliber, does, is that once they get to a certain level, they look right down on people. They forget where they come from. As soon as they get that success, their egos, their arrogance goes right up there. And some of them are nothing but a bunch of bougie, ghetto hood rats with a degree. And you don't even have to be a bougie ghetto hood rat. There's also other females that are not from the ghetto who has that type of mentality too. Once they get to the level of success, they forget where they came from. That's just how some of them are. They get that success, they start looking right down. I was watching another movie I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Maverick movies, but they also had this other movie where the guy was describing his wife, was saying that, she was X amount of weight, and, she was afraid people were going to make fun of her and all this other stuff. And then once she started to lose weight, then she started to get all bougie and ghetto and all the other stuff. And she started making it all about herself. Started, doing her hair every 5 minutes and all this other stuff. Complaining that, oh, she's going to mess up her makeup and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what? And it turns out, she forgot where she came from too. And she's putting out other people because they're fat. But once upon a time ago, she was in that same position. So that's also another example of why those type of women can't meet a good man. Is that reason. Is because they forget where they came from. They don't remember what they've been through. And there are some that are poor. Like I said, that are poor. And we'll get to the top. And you know what? They'll forget about everybody else. This will be them. This will be her. Well, at least in the mind, that'll be her. Is that she'll forget about everybody else who helped her out. And even those type of guys, for some of them, those type of guys who are actually into them, who are actually digging them in their position, once they get to a higher position, they'll forget all about them, And that's what they'll do. And it's a real shame. But you also have some that's on welfare and all the other stuff, and they still mess with the same dudes. It's a shame. Yeah, but I mean, and then you have some that's just looking for little boys, like grown men who are in 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever they may be, still roaming around the streets and all that stuff. And you gotta tell them to get a job, but yet those are the ones they're still attracted to. And that's also another reason why they can't find a good man. Like I said, that has to do with poor judgment, which I already talked about. Is that they just want these little boys. Like, why not meet a grown man who's at least trying to... I mean, I could understand if the guy was trying to do something with himself and for himself. But you have some guys out there that are not even doing anything for themselves. All they're doing is just sitting at home, chilling, watching TV, playing Xbox, playing PS4, and so on and so, or being online, YouTube, whatever, so on and so forth. I can understand if they work and or go to school. I could understand that. But if they're not doing that, they're just roaming the streets all day or whatever, and they ain't doing nothing, then what's the point of being with them? But some women, those type of women with those idiotic preferences, are attracted to retards like that. And it's sad. It's sad what the dating pool and the dating scene has become. And especially, like I said, women's preferences have become. Back in the 80s, the 90s, I don't know how it was in the 70s, but I kind of have a good idea how it was in the 70s. Those were the good years. Even the early 2000s wasn't all that bad. But at a certain point, women just become more advanced. Okay, and it's about, oh, yeah, I gotta get this degree, you gotta have this degree, you gotta have that degree. And it just becomes so picky and so choosy. That's also another reason why they can't get a good man. They're so picky and so choosy about the men. Now, in a positive way, that's a good thing. But in a more negative way, because he doesn't have a degree, because he doesn't drive a car, because he's not tall enough. That's in the negative way. I mean, like, you're just prejudging the guy before you can actually get to know him. And that's a real shame. They don't want to get to know a real good man. All they want to know are these bad boys and thugs and stuff like that. And it's just so stupid. And, all they see is this glitz and glam. They don't realize is that there's how's that saying go? They don't know if the grass isn't always greener on the other side. That's basically what it is. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. It may look greener now, but guess what? On the other side, it may not be. You never know. And like I said before, there's some who forget where they came from, and then they start acting like they all that in a bag of chips. But guess what? They all that in a bag of, well, you know what. So yeah, those are some of the reasons why. And some of them, they're not even looking for a good man anyway. They're not looking for a good man. They just love that abuse. They just love to be used. And it's a real shame. And another thing is this feminism crap that's going on. I mean, it's clear as day. This feminism garbage is so stupid. Oh, female power and all this other dumb stuff. And they're on that independent nonsense. They've been on that since the Destiny's Child era. Remember the Destiny's Child song, Independent Woman? Yeah. That's what they're on, that independent crap. Now, I applaud those who don't want a man because either they've been hurt or they're focused on other things like school or something like that. I give respect to females like that. But the females who have those dumb preferences, I just don't applaud that. And I just don't give them any love. And then then those type of females want to talk about the single men who don't have a woman. Where they say, oh, well, maybe you don't have a woman because you're not tall enough, because you don't have all your teeth, because you're a certain weight, and this and that. But yeah, they want to look down on you, and that's how they are, and that's why some of them cannot find a good man, because they're not trying to look for good men. But anyway, more videos to come soon. Alright? Send a like, subscribe, whatever you gotta do. Peace. Have a good day.